right, welcome back. Can you hear us? That would be the number one thing. Can you if you can hear us, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, let us know. That
Yeah.
was really annoying. Sorry that it took so long. We have no idea why it just decided to not work right, but there you are.
So
And
everybody good?
yeah, Eric Elam, thanks for the stars. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, can we hear everybody good? Give us anything right now, and we'll get going here.
Yeah, I haven't got any
Yep,
responses yet.
1 2 everybody. Thumbs up. Can we hear?
Check the ASN page or the high school. I'm not even on there.
Okay, check that real quick. Anybody? Can you hear me? Just give us a like, share, comment, subscribe, something.
Oh, Eric Elam sounds great. Okay, thanks, Eric. Appreciate it, buddy. And
All right, got it,
now
got
we
it.
feel better about
All right.
ourselves. Mike Forey, appreciate you tuning in on the YouTube page, giving us a thumbs up. All right, there we go.
All right, so here we go. So anyway, with that being said, we're glad to be here live with you, and we're going to talk about what happened over the weekend in football in the state of Arkansas, both high school and with the Razorbacks. Heck, we might even dip down into D2 before it's all said and done. Tell you what, there's some news in Arkansas about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just Harding is continuing an incredible 3-year run that they've had, and man, they're playing exceptional. SAU made it into the poll this week as well, so there's a lot going on there as well. So I better get a drink here before I choke.
Yeah, Brad's struggling over there.
Man, I tell you what, it's been a day. We were set up to podcast, and I was like, man, I gotta get something to eat before we get into
Yeah,
this.
he's about ready to pass out over here.
So
Low blood sugar.
anyway, glad to have you along. We're going to talk about what happened on the high school gridiron along with the Razorbacks and anything else in the in between. Well, we're also going to talk about our rankings. Our rankings right now are reaching crazy amounts of people
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
nice. Pretty awesome.
I think we had 600,000 views last week.
Yeah, something
At
like that.
some point,
Total pages
at
for
some
our
point, we
rankings.
had 600,000 views. So anyway, with that said, we're glad to have you along, and we're going to just talk about what happened on the gridiron, starting with high school football and starting in 2A. And I'm going to get this pulled up real quick here and just talk a little bit about what happened.
It's our
Uh,
2A rankings on the screen. That's
yeah,
this week's.
yeah, you can see those right there. This is this week's rankings. East Poinsett County, Junction City, Mount Ida, Cross County moves up to 4 this week. I'll talk a little bit about that battle and what it took to get to that. I'm looking at my rankings over here so I can see them. But we got Carlisle, Desark, Bearden, Hampton, Hector. Um, this was a crazy week for 2A,
It
especially.
was.
This was a week that the rankings were difficult to do. Um, the big win or the big news in 2A was the win of Bearden over Hampton.
Yep.
That was
It's a
the
big
big
one.
one, and it really caused a shuffle in the rankings there. Of course, Bearden and Hampton in the same league. Hampton had just beaten Carlisle last week by in overtime, 36-28, and then Bearden turned around and took them down. And so in the 2A4, it definitely sent a shakeup through the 2A4. Now, Carlisle plays Bearden, and if Carlisle beats Bearden, then you're going to have a scenario where you could have a three-way tie at the top of that conference. So that was a big one. Mount Ida picked up a big victory as well over Hector. That was the de facto 2A1 championship game,
Yep.
and Mount Ida really
They dominated
they
the
they
game.
they just
Hate to see Hector lose like that, but Mount Ida, they controlled every aspect of the game.
Yeah, it was 35-6 at the half. 49-6 was the final score there in that one. I still think Hector's a good team at
Yeah, they
six
are.
and one, coming in at number 10. Hampton picking up their first loss. It was a hard thing to try to rank, 4 through 10 because of how everything fell. Um, it was one of those things like, if I bump this one down, then this one that didn't lose, they have to bump down too. And so we tried to fix it the best way that we could, which Bearden over Hampton right now was actually
Now,
one of those things that was kind of hard.
answer a question for the folks at home.
What's up?
Are our rankings computer based in any way?
Well, I mean, no,
Yeah,
no,
it's just I saw some comments on our rankings yesterday talking about, you throw this in the computer. It's
no,
not what we do here. We
no.
look at every game we can and pick the best one. It's all this guy,
You're
every
you're
bit.
looking you're looking
It
at the ranker.
he Sometimes he'll ask opinions on something, but even then,
Man,
it's he has the final say.
well, the thing about the rankings is it's not just ranking one team. It's a list, and it's a list that kind of flows together.
Yep.
And again, when you look at these rankings, they'll fix themselves.
Hmm.
At some point they will fix themselves. So I'm not real worried about it. What do we got right now?
Oh, Eric Elam, he's talking about Batesville will win. We'll
Yes.
get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And Casey Harden, talking about the Dardanelle Lamar game. I was watching that while I was doing my own game, and that was a heck of a game, start to finish.
Yes, sir. But anyway, 2A, Bearden made the waves in 2A and really shook the rankings up there. And just kind of looking at scores right now. Um, Again, Mount Ida won. Junction City, no surprise there,
Mm-mm.
53-13. Hazen, 56-20. They're playing a lot better now. I think they might be too far out of the standings to make the playoffs. Now, I don't know for sure. I guess if they were able to maybe beat a Carlisle or something like that, shake it up a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Conway Christian's playing better right now, 33-6 over Mountain Pine, not Mount Ida. Murfreesboro bouncing back. They're scoring a lot of points
They
down
are.
there at Murfreesboro. Big matchup with Junction City this week. England won over Clarendon. Mountainburg 47-14 over Bigelow. That was a big win there. I've heard that Mountainburg, right now their best player's out, but it's like they're not depending on him to do everything. And
Yep.
so they're playing more like a team now. Martree over McCrory by 20. I'm just going down the
Alan
board
loves
here.
that one, don't
Yeah,
he?
Cross County over Lee. Foreman over Spring Hill. Foreman's playing better. They've won 3 games this year after losing several
A
in a row. I can't
bunch.
even remember.
Yeah, they lost
Gurdon
a bunch.
Gurdon up 28-22. They're in that mix in the 2A3, and Desart's big 69-24 win over Izard County. Again, the big headline was Bearden over Hampton, kind of shaking things up. Let's move on to 3A here. Talk a
Just
little bit
see.
about that. I think maybe the story of the state happened in 3A this week, and the story of the state was Fordyce falling to Lakeside with, from my understanding, 9 fumbles.
Oh,
Nine
man.
fumbles during that game.
I know what
Um,
that feels like.
Also, I know that Cadillac Ellison was out. Micah Gamble was the quarterback in the game. I mean, it makes a difference when you start moving your best players around. That was a tough one there. And of course, Lakeside, trying to stay in that race. That was a huge win for them, and it caused the shakeup in the rankings. There, you see Fordyce falling to 5, Mansfield at 2 after Salem, Bismarck at 3, and Charleston at 4. I'm telling you right now, when it comes down to it, there ain't a eyelash difference between Mansfield, Bismarck, and Charleston. And I know
There's just not.
well, I know that the Mansfield people will say, wait a minute, we beat both of them. That's true, you did. And you did come out victorious. That's why you're 2 and not 3 or 4. But,
Salem's just a step above a little bit.
well, I mean, right
But
now
it's going to
they deserve to be there.
yep,
But the thing with Mansfield, Bismarck, and Charleston, Mansfield beat Bismarck at home in overtime
yep.
by 34-28. At home, they beat Charleston 32-27, I think was the final score there. But
Well, that's some
man,
good defense on
I'm
Mansfield's
I'm
part.
telling
Charleston's
you,
hard to slow down.
I'm telling you, man, Mansfield's really good, very physical football team, and
I
they're
hope I
number
get to see
2.
them in the playoffs. That'd be a fun game to do one of their games this year.
Maybe so, maybe so. Glen Rose falling in after that. You've got Glen Rose, Mayflower, Atkins, a smack over in Rivercrest. The thing is, I saw Atkins this week. Atkins, good football team.
Yep.
They're a really good football team. So anyway, rest of the 3A, Mountain View over Episcopal 47-30. Rison over Drew Central 44-38. Hoxie won 47-20. Cutter Morningstar 56-20. Paris is having a heck of a year right
Yes,
now.
they
Paris is
are. Them
6
Eagles are
and 1.
flying.
Only lost to Boonville this year, 41-12. Smack over 62-8 over Horatio. Newport 52-0 over Manila. Falk over Centerpoint 42-36. Prescott 55-6. We've got Prescott Bismarck this week. Boonville and Mansfield match up. Mansfield has to travel to Boonville this week.
That's gonna be a tough one. Boonville is always a good football
And then
team.
next week, Charleston and Boonville. So, I
Ooh,
mean, the
man.
3A1 will be decided in the next 2 weeks,
Yeah,
most
really.
likely. Yeah. Rivercrest picked up a big W over Walnut Ridge. That one likely puts Rivercrest into the one there in that conference. Salem big, Atkins big, Mayflower big. McGee wins by 1 over Barton. Uh,
Ooh.
Glenrose over Perryville. Lakeside again, the big news there in 3A. Mansfield won 56-0, and Dumas picked up a big victory over Palestine Wheatley at 36-26. I don't. Is that the score that we had? I guess it is the score that we had this week. Magnet Cove picked up a 53-42 win over Danville, and Osceola picked up
That's a
a
good
win
win for
over
Magny
Harrisburg.
Cove.
Yeah.
So I got a cousin teaches Magny Cove. Shout out to Lexi. She's a dance coach.
Well, one of the things about Justin you'll find out is he knows everybody everywhere.
It's it's funny.
Do we got any comments we need to get to right now?
On the ASN High School page, Collier Bush saying "Go Birds." Collier, where you from, buddy? Can't tell that one. Amber Thrasher giving hearts to EPC Nation, and yeah, just Collier Bush was that Stuttgart? Yeah, he said if Stuttgart wins out, who do y'all see coming? Who do y'all see coming into Stuttgart that give them trouble in playoffs? We'll get to that. I
Yeah,
guarantee you we'll be talking about that. Stuttgart's a good football team. Uh,
they got Hamburg left.
yeah,
That's well. Let's get to 4A while
yeah,
we've got a
yeah. Give us
chance to
just a
do
second. Let me
that.
put that up.
So we're going to bring in 4A right now on the 4A rankings.
There you
Um, as you can see, Dardanelle, Arkadelphia. Dardanelle had a hard time with Lamar. They were down 21-7, outscored them 28-0 there.
go.
After
Fourth
that,
quarter. Yeah, basically.
well, second half, they were
Yeah,
down 21-7 at the half.
that's right.
Elkins is playing very well right now. Um, boy, I tell you, Elkins is going to be tough. They're going to be tough out in playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Hamburg, Nashville. Nashville is right now,
How'd the
I
boy
think,
Nakel do this week?
I haven't heard. I didn't see his numbers. I assume they're good. I mean, that's an interesting thing. Good question, by the way. If anybody can tell us, I honest to goodness, every time that we put it out there, somebody from Hamburg is letting us know this week. I hadn't heard anything. Did somebody shut down Nikel Lewis? In fact, I think this might be the first week that Nikel Lewis is not included in
Yeah,
our D3 Auto Sales
yeah. That's what I was
MVP of the
thinking. I was
week.
looking through it earlier, and he just wasn't there, and I was like, "That's is that right? Did he even play last week?"
Well, speaking of that, we haven't even went over that. Let's talk about that real quick before we get too far into it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Warrior Nation, EPC, go Birds. I got you. All right, let's look here real quick. Yeah, so our D3 Auto Sales MVP of the week voting is out now. There's already 1,222 votes on
That's
that
awesome.
thing,
You put it what
85
three, four
shares.
hours ago?
It says 2 hours by
Oh goodness,
Facebook. It's about 2.5 hours. Jacob Miles of Searcy, 328 passing yards, 6 TDs versus Pine
Oh,
Bluff.
okay. Got it on Nakel. Josh Barley saying Nakel had 149, 4 TDs. Only played the first half
Oh,
of that
wow.
game. Josh, did they just pull him to rest him, or
So
was he hurt?
by the numbers, he actually topped 2,000 yards
That's
with that.
spectacular. Wow.
Yeah. Gosnell and Blyville this week. Man, they're so
Southside.
Southside. That's right. Gosnell and Southside. Yes, that's going to be for the 4A3. Let's get to these real quick. Buda Harris, Rivercrest, 8 catches, 156 and 4 TDs versus Walnut Ridge.
Man,
He's currently leading the voting. Wally Walcott of Hot Springs Lakeside, 18 of 27, 417 yards, and they played who? I missed that on the poll. I have to put that poll in on my phone. It's a Facebook thing. It's the only way you can do a poll on Facebook, and it's stupid. Let's see here. I didn't even write it down. It's on there somewhere. I'd have to go on to a chat to find it, but I could find it. But anyway, Brody Dufresne of Clinton, 5 TDs and 267 yards passing. For Clinton, I mean that right there. For Clinton,
that's amazing. They don't
they
pass.
don't throw it that much. 5 TDs versus Dover, and I hope I don't mess this name up. Josh Hanea of Paris, 356 yards through the air, 5 TDs again for the 6-1 Paris Eagles. Tyler Hampton of Sylvan Hills really having a great year down there for them. I keep saying they're the story of the state. 5 TDs and 342 yards in the air versus West Memphis. Now let's get back to 4A.
I answer a quick
Okay,
question from Levi Pence. Asked if we talk about 2A. Yes, at the start of the podcast. I don't think on Facebook you can go
leave.
back, but
Yeah,
if you want to go to our YouTube page, Arkansas Sports Network, you should be able to look at the start of that page.
Levi.
Yeah, Levi
He's a
Pence.
Pence.
Yep.
We talked about Mountainburg already. Levi is Zach Pence your cousin? That's what I want to know. I ran around with Zach in high school. So anyway, let's talk 4A football right now. And Southside and Gosnell matching up in the 4A3 this week. That's going to be a huge
Yeah,
ball
it
game.
is.
Set up, those two have won. They're both undefeated coming into this week, so they're yeah, that's going to be one of the top games.
Speaking of that, on one of our rankings posts just this week, somebody's asking, well, why haven't we got Gosnell ranked higher? And that's just to explain it. Yeah, they're undefeated. They just ain't played nobody yet.
So tell
They've only
me,
played two
yeah,
teams that
but
have a winning record right
tell
now.
me where we're going to move them up to.
Yeah,
Okay,
where can we?
so
It's just everybody else is
so
undefeated too.
so Warren, no, Warren has a
Oh,
loss.
that's right.
Nashville has two losses, but let's talk about Nashville's two losses. Dardanelle and Magnolia,
Yeah,
both on
that's
the
his
road.
cousin. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I ran around with Zach in high school. Um, anyway, Dardanelle and Magnolia, two very tough teams. I mean, first off, Magnolia is a 5A team,
Yep.
and while they're probably not going to make the playoffs, they could probably make the playoffs in just about any other conference in the state,
Mm-hmm.
maybe outside of 7A. And they were a tough team. So Nashville's got two losses, but those two losses are very, very tough losses. Warren's got one loss. It's to Hamburg, you know,
Yeah.
and Warren. And you've also got to consider where these teams start at. So Warren started up in the top five. I think they were number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Warren start in the top five? Well, because they're the number one team as far as programs over the last 5 years. Warren is the number one team in 4A. They're the number one program in 4A when you
Mm-hmm.
account for wins and playoff wins and uh, state championship contention and conference championships and all that. They are the number one team in the 4A. So that's why they started so high. So let's talk about we got a recap here while you keep up with the comments there.
Trying to at
I'm gonna
least.
recap right what happened here. You've got Pocahontas won over Truman. Elkins again. I'm telling you, Elkins right now, despite the one loss to Dardanelle, 55-14 over Prairie Grove.
Yeah, they're a great football
Elkins
team.
is playing right now.
They really
Bauxite
are.
over Malvern. That was a big win by Bauxite. Malvern was 3-0 in the conference coming into this one. Green Forest over Lincoln. That was Green Forest came back in that game, down 21, I think, or 17, one of the two. Ended up winning that ball game 38-35. In fact, I think it was 35-17. They scored 21 straight and won the game. We've got Hamburg 45-7 over Crossit, as you said. Nikel Lewis only had a half of ball and still
Yeah,
150 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns.
that's incredible.
That puts him over 2,000 yards, and that puts him at touchdowns wise. That makes it 36, which he's only 10 shy of the state record now.
Yeah, he's gonna hit that one, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we never count chickens before they
Yeah, you're
hatch.
right. You're right. We shouldn't, but man, well, it'd be a shame if he missed it. But I don't think he is. He's having a great season, staying healthy. They're resting him to keep him healthy, and I think that's a great idea. He'll get that yardage marker, but he'll also get the TDs this year if they do him right.
Mills over Riverview big, Haber over Hall big. Ozark picked up a big win in that 4A4 conference over
Yeah, yeah.
Pottsville. I know, I know. We
Look, I got Ozark, good football team. Skolarski, that running back, he's a sophomore. That boy has speed.
yeah, yeah,
He is it's just a sight to see, and he can run you over too.
yeah.
He's what I think buck 85, maybe 5'10", buck 85. The kid, he runs hard every down. We had a what would have been a 70-yard touchdown that this young man just he got put on his knee to in the play, still ran him down.
Wow.
It's a heck of a play. And Kagan Jones, our receiver, he actually got hurt on the play, some shoulder issues, and hopefully he'll be back soon. It
That's yeah, and they've got a
shout
big
out to
game.
Kegs.
Pottsville's got a big game with Lamar this week, which
Yes,
will
we do.
decide a playoff spot.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's it.
it's a playoff positioning game, and then you've still got Mina. So, I mean, it could decide a playoff spot there for sure.
The 44 is just hard.
Pot, Pottsville has a win over Malvern, or not Malvern, Mina,
Yeah,
which is that's a big help to them in this case. Gravette 56-7 over Berryville. Elkins and Gravette coming up, I believe, this week, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Gravitt's a good football team this
Um,
year. They got new assistant coach, my old college roommate
Actually,
Matt Chandler.
that's not right. I think maybe Gravette and Prairie Grove play each other this week, and then Gravette and Elkins play next week.
Yeah,
Stuttgart over Monticello 52-28. Forest City won big 54-8 over Bald Knob. Warren big. Gosnell again over Blytheville 47-12. Clinton 49-14 over Dover. Mina picked up the win over Waldron. Then a rivalry game, and Gentry picked up the win over Huntsville. Anything else in the comments that we need to look at?
take a gander real quick
Let's
again.
look here.
Uh, Josh Barley talked. I was talking about Hamburg Stuttgart to finish the season.
Right. Oh yeah.
Jonesboro, Sylvan Hills. We'll talk about y'all in a minute.
Yeah.
Uh,
That
Gosnell Southside, huge game next week from Elon.
that actually works out for
Yep.
us, by the way. I don't know if any of you watched the scoreboard show that we did on Friday night. We may be doing that again. We're working on that right now. Maybe doing something like that for the rest of the year. So anyway, if you like that, there's a good chance that we may do that again. What do you got?
Casey Harden said Darnell and Lamar played a heck of a game. Darnell got the lead after late after a big injury happened for Lamar. Who got hurt? I couldn't watch the whole thing because I was streaming my own game, but I didn't even know there was an injury. Um, let's see. Austin McGee, that's my BB. We'll get to them. Uh, let's see. Makai King, but next they should be game of the Goss Nelson be game of the week next week.
Uh,
Well, sorry, we're going to
right.
Bismarck Prescott
So
already.
that was one of those games that was on our radar. We had Prescott invite us to come. I think we had an invitation to go to Southside as too. So
Yeah,
it just worked out to where we end up going to Prescott, but we'll be having our eye on that one for sure. Coming out. Hey, if you're watching right now, like, share, comment, subscribe. Um, YouTube, go to YouTube and like and share as well.
Aaron Weatherford talking about 47 Nashville. Is 47
Oh
is
yeah,
Nashville's to lose.
yeah, right
It
now
really is,
that's
yeah, right now. It's
for sure.
no doubt.
For sure, for sure. Well, let's look at 5A, and you can bring up those rankings on 5A.
There you go.
All right, so looking at the rankings, Robinson stays at the top. I don't think there was actually any change at
Nope,
all.
not in there.
They all won. Greenbrier, Lakeside, Farmington, Searcy, Valley View, Morrilton, Hot Springs, Parkview, and Maumelle. Um, like I said, no changes. There will be some this week, though. Lot more games. In fact, this is a great week for
Oh, it
high
was
school
Eli
football.
Jones who got hurt, Lamar.
Oh,
Oh, that's
I did hear about that.
mm,
That's two big injuries there.
that is, man.
Kaz Krotz of Lamar got hurt earlier, and he's their best running back, so that's tough. So Eli Jones getting hurt as well. Hopefully, he won't stay out for a long time. But man, that's your quarterback.
Yep.
That's tough. Lakeside, they're big time this year, 69-14 over Hope. Searcy picked up the victory, 50-22. They've got a date with Robinson this week.
Mm-hmm.
Hot
Big game
Springs,
there for them.
yep. Hot Springs over Magnolia by 2. That
Well,
was
that's
a great
tough.
that was a great game down there. Hot Springs really, their mettle was tested this week, and I think that effectively eliminates Magnolia from the playoffs. Magnolia the last 2 weeks has lost by 2 each week, and that's going to end up doing them in most likely. Robinson over BB 49-24. BB, decent showing there against Robinson. Robinson is easily one of the top 10 teams in the state, if not top 5. Harding Academy with a 26-6 victory. They've got a big game this week against Nettleton. That's a huge game there in the 5A East. Farmington, speaking of big games, Morrilton and Farmington will battle it out for the 2 spot in the 5A West most likely. Farmington beat Valonia 45-13. Morrilton came back and won big, 38-34. What do you
Mike Gailey saying stop sleeping on Mayflower. Equipment had less than 50 yards. Total offense. We're
We're
not sleeping on them. They're ranked number 7 for a reason, man. It's
right.
it's
We're
the
not.
top 10 is just brutal.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of movement right now. There's not a
No,
lot of room to move in that. We'll get back to that in just a moment. The Batesville win game. Batesville picked up a 36-35 victory. That was
big win there.
huge. That was
Big win.
huge. Valley View 48-14. That Valley View continues to roll after that loss to Searcy. Greenbrier 56-27 over Alma, 38-34. Morrilton went up. Comeback victory over Harrison. That was huge. There, Nettleton over Greene County Tech 34-3. P Ridge 49-6 over Clarksville. And again, not a lot to talk about in the 5A because nothing really big happened other than the Batesville game over win. I think Batesville kind of puts themselves in a spot where they can make the playoffs in the 5A
Yeah.
East. That's a big deal. So anyway, that was again, not much going on in the 5A. We're going to move to the 6A real quick. What do you?
I'll respond to the Levi there. Asked we were going to talk about 2A more. I said we'll get to 2A again tomorrow, man.
Yeah, we'll have a
It's
two A through
yeah.
4A
Hey, you could
preview.
put us a message on either one of these Facebooks, the ASN or the ASN High School Levi, and we'll respond to you. You got questions, we'll get to you. Um, but no, we'll talk more 2A football. We'll do 2A through
Well,
4A
I'll
preview
tell you what
tomorrow.
we'll do once we get through what happened this last week. If anybody wants
Yeah, yeah.
to
We'll answer
chat
some
about
questions. Yeah.
anything, we'll do that. Answer questions,
All right, you
whatever.
said you need to get to 6A real quick. All
Yeah.
right, hang on just a second, folks.
Uh, Big one in the 6A. Big
Yeah.
news in the 6A is Van Buren. Van Buren's now are they 4-0 in the conference? I believe they are. With a 17-10 victory over Southside. Southside had won 8 of 9 of that one coming into that ball game. Van Buren wins that one
Oh,
though.
oh, we forgot something. Our 6A rankings, they are sponsored by
That's right.
Russellville Nursing Rehab,
Yes.
which is awesome.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. And again, if you want to get a business name out there, 600,000 views on our rankings last week.
Yep, doing pretty good.
Shiloh Christian 55-18 over Russellville. That no news there
Yeah, no
really.
news there.
Greenwood 42-10 over Lake Hamilton. Greenwood and Van Buren are matching up. If Van Buren can figure out a way, then they are really in that conference title hunt.
Called
Mount
Harry asking where's Fountain Lake at?
Hot Springs last time I checked.
Yeah.
Mountain Home 33-0 over Siloam Springs.
Ooh,
Jonesboro making hay there. Big W over Marion 21-0. And again, I keep talking about Sylvan Hills, story of the state
yeah.
right now.
Lateria Tullis, I hope I didn't butcher that name, hon. She said Sylvan Hills, true Cinderella story. You ain't lying. They
That's
are
right.
props to them. They're having a heck of a football season. That's my girlfriend. Of 12 years, I need to marry her. I'll
Right.
say it publicly. I need to. She's graduated from Silver Hill, so that's pretty awesome for them.
Let me no, I don't need to mute this real quick. I'm just trying to pull up comments at this point
Okay,
here.
we got
What we got?
Aaron Weatherford. What are your so far? Hot Springs, Bishop Allen, and QB, and the Jamie twins transfer from Malvern. Been awesome.
Yeah.
And and it says the sleeping on comment has to be the most no ball, no work.
Well, I know Mike Gailey, he does definitely know ball, but
Yeah.
everybody thinks that we're sleeping on their team.
I
Well,
promise we're not.
let's talk about that in a minute, but let's get through these scores in 6A and 7A. Sheridan wins. They set themselves up for a playoff spot, probably the 6th seed in the East, and Benton wins 60-36 to stay in the 6A East there. Let's talk about 7A real quick, and then we'll come back. And again, any comments that you want to talk about, go ahead, put them in right now. We'll talk about them as we go. We definitely have to get to Razorbacks as well, so
We'll try.
keep that in mind. In the 7A, there was a little movement at the bottom. Fayetteville falls out of our top six. Little
Yeah.
Rock Christian moves back into our top six. You know, that one's hard because I think Fayetteville probably is a top six team, but right now they just keep getting knocked down by the rung
Yeah.
because they're playing all the top teams in the conference.
It's brutal for
This
them.
week, it was Bentonville. They've played Bentonville West, Rogers, and Bentonville in 3 of their first 4 weeks, and guess what? They won the other one,
Mm-hmm.
and they're struggling a little bit. They lost to Texas High in week 3, I think.
Yep.
It was the last week of the non-conference season. 52-7 win over Central was Conway. Bryant 142-6 over Southwest. Cabot picked up a huge victory at Pulaski Academy. That helped them a
That's a
lot.
big one.
That's just their second win of the year, but you want to look at a tough schedule. Cabot has played one.
That's a fact.
Little Rock Christian come back at 37-36 against North Little Rock. They were down 21-0 in that game. Rogers, 70 points
Whew,
back to back weeks, 70 points.
golly.
And they play Bentonville, which could be for the conference championship. Still some football to be played there. Bentonville West having a great year, 50 or 41-14 over Harbor. Heritage 41-40 over Northside. Bentonville 48-14 over Fayetteville. So rankings wise, you see that on the screen. I mean, Bryant, they until somebody knocks them off, they're going to be number one. Bentonville number two, Rogers number three, Conway number four, Bentonville West number five, and Little Rock Christian number six. There hasn't been a ton of movement in the 7A because the top six aren't losing, and Fayetteville did drop out. Christian replaced them. So, any comments that we need to get to? My question is, since Mountainburg won such a large margin this Friday, what is the chance that they make it to the playoffs due to complications of losing games they shouldn't have and things of that nature? I'm not sure the path has to happen. Well, first off, the problem with Mountainburg is the loss to Conway Christian. That's
Yep.
that's going to be the kicker there, and I think the problem another problem you run into in the 2A Levi is the fact that you only get four teams in the playoffs. Now, with that being said, you beat Bigelow. They are 2-2 in the conference. You're 1-3 now. If you win out, and well, let me just look at your schedule here, Levi, and I'll tell you. You got Mountain Pine. That's good. You got Mount Ida. That's not good. And you've got Johnson County West Side, which is good. So the you're probably going to finish 3-4 in the conference. So let me look real quick. The loss to Magazine is also a killer as well. That one probably did you in. Let me look at their schedule real quick, and I can tell you, they've got Conway Christian, Mountain Pine. You need an upset. Magazine needs to be upset by Mountain Pine to have any shot. You need them to lose all three to make the playoffs there, Levi. I hope that answers your question there. Jonesboro was locked to finish sixth in the East. They got a chip on their shoulder. Do y'all think BB will be 3 or 4 seed in the 5A Central? Are you watching any of the other comments on the other side there? I've got the high school side up. If there's anything going on the other side with ASN.
Mm,
Um, okay, so anyway, let's see
just Matt
here.
and Jess Vic tuning in to us. Appreciate
Yeah.
y'all. Love you
Uh,
guys.
Jonesboro was locked. So Jonesboro wasn't locked in. They were predicted. And they are playing well. They're playing well. Coach George over there doing a good job with them. We've got Sylvan Hills, a true Cinderella story. Yes. Do y'all think BB will be the 3 or the 4 in the 5A Central? Can you predict the rest of their game? Sure. I'll take a look at them. Let's see here. Let me go into BB real quick.
Oh, Thomas Hall asked about 3A ball.
Okay.
Uh,
Well, let me
well,
get to BB.
yeah,
And
we've talked about that. If you want to, you can't look at it now. You have to wait till the stream is over with, unless you want to go to the YouTube page.
yeah,
But if you have a specific question, Thomas, ask it and feel free. We'll answer it. No problem, man.
BB has Jacksonville, Watson
Woo!
Chapel, and Searcy. Is that right? Is that right?
Yikes.
Searcy left. I like two of the three there. I like you to win two of the three on that one. So if you go in and look at the standings, let me go in here. Look, you're 2-2 in the league. Would make you 4-3 in the league. I like your chances. I like your chances there. I think BB's got the inside track right now in the 5A East to or 5A Central. I'm sorry, to win and get into the playoffs. Anybody else got anything?
The Austin saying we should come to BB Searcy November 6th.
We've got
Yeah, we got plans.
we may have two games that day. Appreciate that though.
Yeah.
Listen, we're all about the invites. By the way, if you can take those rankings
Oh,
down,
whoops.
we
No, yeah,
forgot.
I got you. My bad.
I
Hang on.
gotcha. Let's go ahead and take them down that way.
Here we go.
Okay, so what else? I saw something else there.
Hmm?
Did we see? I saw another comment.
I think when's Gosnell Southside game from Brandon
Okay,
Ingram. Any commitment news from around the state this week? Not that
no,
we know of, man.
yep.
So
Van Buren is a Cinderella story. That is true. They
yeah,
are.
yeah, and
They
no
are.
doubt about that. They're just having a pretty good year, man. Aaron saying they need some helps for the other
Talking about
teams.
Mountainburg, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No shot. Someone just asked about Fountain Lake. Uh,
I was
yeah.
laughing. That's when I was laughing a minute
Gotcha.
ago.
Can Rogers best Bentonville? That's a good question. I don't know. I think Rogers has their best team in a long time, and offensively they're putting up numbers that really are unreal. To be honest
Yeah,
with you, if they're going to do it, this will be the year to do it. Uh, Regan is an unbelievable quarterback. That's for sure. So if so, how? The how would be
got to take care of the football to start with.
I mean, the how would be you got to score a bunch of points.
Yeah, and they've been doing that.
Uh,
So
you got to stick with your game, scoring a bunch of points, and let what happened happen. That would be what I would say. What
uh, Aaron Weatherford, appreciate it. Bismarck sophomore had a big night last week. Clay Martinez, rushing touchdown, strip and score, rush for 65, led the team in tackles.
I'll tell you what, nobody plays harder than Bismarck.
We saw, heck, I saw that last year when we were doing the playoff game. And Bismarck showed up and showed out for
Yeah,
everything we did that day.
yeah.
But that was a heck of a football game.
Who does Cersei have left to play, and which game is the biggest for them? All right, I love these questions, man.
Heck yeah,
This is
that's awesome.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right, well, let me
makes
look. Well,
makes our
I
talk
mean,
figuring out what to talk with easier.
I don't have any doubt. The biggest game that they have comes up this week, and that is the Robinson game. I mean, right now Robinson is the top team in the conference, and Cersei has an opportunity to win the conference, most likely with a win. Although
Car-
they got to go to Maumelle the next week.
Carlin Hare picking Fountain Lake to win it all this year.
Surely that's not. Is that right?
What?
We're back. Oh, we got audio. Okay.
Sorry about that. Our plug-in just decided to crap on us.
Well, we just need to make sure we don't put our foot on it.
Yeah, that was my fault.
All right. One thing that I do have a question about, if you're watching, is Cersei's schedule. Is it correct that the last four games they have? So basically, they've already played the final home game of the season. So is that true? Somebody that if you're watching and you're a Cersei fan, let us know, because what I've got at scorebook, that cannot be right. That's the last half of the season. It's at Jacksonville, at Pine Bluff, at
It's
Robinson, at
brutal if it
Maumelle,
is. It was
and
like
at Beebe. There's no way.
the year Pottsville was putting the artificial turf on. No games at home. That was brutal.
That was brutal. Yeah. Anyway, maybe you can tell us here. Is there anybody else? Any other questions there that we need to get to there?
Not that I can see. Dare Snyder, Jonesboro looking for their respect, playing hard. You are right. I don't think I missed anything else.
Okay. Anybody
Said
else? Oh,
Carlin Harry Fountain Lake gonna win it all.
Warren has lost two games. That's true. They have lost two games. You're correct on that. They lost to Greenbrier,
Yeah,
57 to 34. But I mean, if you're referring
it's a
to
big
them,
step up.
if you're referring to them versus anybody else in the 4A, I would take Greenbrier. They, yes, Austin, they beat Jacksonville. That's correct. I'm saying, did they play? Are they playing their back half of the conference in at on the road? Is that the case? Surely they've got to have home games left. I need to know their home games. Let me see if Max Preps can help me there, because that's got to be wrong. In fact, if that is right, I've never seen anything like that before. Let me look here real quick.
It's terrible scheduling.
Well, I mean, conference-wise, there's no control over that.
No, not at all.
That's somebody. I don't know how they go about the conference schedule. Um, no, they're at home, but it is. I mean, what I'm seeing here is four of the last five games are on the road.
That's brutal.
So they were at Jacksonville, they won. They were at Pine Bluff, they won. They're at home versus Robinson this week, and then they're at Maumelle and at Beebe. So wow, that's
I think
crazy.
Pottsville's got something like that too.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
we away for
wow,
Ozark. We had Lamar at home, then
yeah.
Dardanelle and uh, Dover both away.
All right. So anybody else got anything before we decide to go over to the Razorbacks right now?
I don't
Anybody?
think so. Yeah,
Everybody good?
going once, going twice.
Right. Well, look, if you've got comments and you still want to talk about them, we can answer some stuff. But let's move on to Arkansas real quick. Razorbacks lose to Texas
Oh,
A&M.
hey,
Oh,
we had two more. It just happened. Dog Walk asking how much of a chance y'all give Sylvan Hills in the 6A.
I
They keep playing a decent one, but
I
they
think
still got a lot of work to do.
I think they have the scheduling advantage for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
In fact, if they beat Jonesboro, I think that they've got a great shot at winning
yeah, that's home
the
field advantage.
conference. Yeah, and then which part of the 5A is the toughest conference? I don't think any doubt it's the 5A South.
Yeah.
Again, when you talk about Magnolia as a team not going to make the playoffs, that's really tough because Magnolia's a good football team, I think.
hmm
Let me go to that real quick. Luckily I've got that pulled up. You got Lakeside. Um, you got in the 5A South. You got Hot Springs and Lakeside. They're
Austin said, "Let's turn it to the Razorbacks." I said, "Do you really want your heart broke already, man?"
you got Camden, Fairview, and Parkview. That's and then
Just brutal. It's just brutal down there.
Magnolia's 1-3 in that conference. I mean, Magnolia's not going to be 1-3 in most conferences.
No.
All right, Austin, let's go to the Razorbacks. Let's talk about Arkansas lose to Texas A&M 45-42. Unfortunately, it's the same song, second verse, third verse, and fourth verse now with the Razorbacks, which is, they don't have a defense.
No.
And, I think that they're playing harder under Petrino. Um, I have seen highlights, Dustin. I've seen some highlights of them. I have not seen them, but one of the things that we will do, Dustin, is we will pay attention to what's going on this week with them versus Southside. Anyway, Hogs 45-42, and again, it's nothing new. I do think that the offense, especially right now, is more crisp than bring them, Austin. We'll talk about them. I think the offense is more crisp right now than they've been in a
Yeah,
while.
the offense looked great.
I mean, the offense is really. I mean, they put up over almost 500 yards against Tennessee, and then over 500 against Texas A&M. I think it was like 518 maybe.
Statistically speaking, we're the number two offense in the SEC, basically.
Oh, we're top five in the nation,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
you're at this point you're uh, what 2-5, so you've lost five in a row here, but they've got a chance to win a couple games here and at least get themselves in a position to play in a bowl game. Not to say that they're going to do that.
Look, they're what? Let's see, I was talking to Travis Garza this morning. Basically, 12 points or something like that from being 6-1. I mean,
Yeah,
just we haven't lost by more than 7 points, excluding Notre Dame.
right.
I don't even want to talk about that game,
So,
but
do y'all think Bobby will be the head coach next year if they keep losing by 3 or 7? Here's what is about to happen. I think these jobs are coming open like crazy.
yeah,
So you've got Florida just came open this weekend. After a win, they fired Billy Napier. Um,
well,
I thought Florida State was going to make a move this weekend, and then they didn't. But they're on the verge of possibly making a move. If you beat Auburn this weekend, there could be another opening that would be Auburn. Good chance.
hmm
LSU may make another move. So here's the question. At that point, when the Razorbacks begin to fall, Arkansas begins to fall down the list. You got Penn State. That's the best job open right now. You've got Arkansas was considered the second best job opening to Penn State until Florida opened up. So now Arkansas is the third. If Auburn wins, or if Auburn loses, do they become the third best job open. And then if LSU is on the verge of making a change themselves. So then that falls down your number 5.
Yeah.
And who else makes a move at some point? I like the difference in the defense, but if they keep giving up 40 or more, would need a house clean again by in the coaching staff. I mean, I'll say this, man. I don't think that there's enough in the cupboard for Bobby Petrino to know what you can and can't do on defense.
No.
I mean, the thing with Petrino is the fact that we know he's not a defensive coach to begin with,
Mm-mm.
but you can't hardly even judge what's on the field right now by what he's doing. I think he's getting them to play harder. I think he's getting them to play tougher. I I, I just think that at the end of the day, right now, there there's just not enough players on the field. They just don't have it. Um, I think that you've got some guys that are not willing hitters on the team. I think that man, football from every I don't care what level you play on. I'll give you an example. This is I, I feel like such an idiot when I say this, but I'm learning about coaching by coaching Pee Wee football, right?
True story.
I'm learning. I honestly am. I'm learning about coaching Pee Wee football. And one of the things that I'm learning about coaching Pee Wee football is this: you either have willing hitters or you don't have willing hitters. And my son is not a willing hitter. Okay, so this week we played a good team. We played pretty good. We won the game. Got down to the end of the game, we were up 22-8, and my son and the best player on their team find each other in the hole. And my son, all he had to do was go forward and make the tackle. Did he do it? Nope.
Nope.
Nope. He opened the door and he let it in. I see that a lot with the Razorbacks. I see it a bunch with the Razorbacks.
Yeah.
Is there, if there is more than 5 firings in the SEC, what does that show the ACC or Big 12 conference? Well, it
It's
just means
brutal to
more.
coach in the
It
SEC.
just it just
Jesus.
means more, right?
It's
Well,
yeah.
here's the thing though. The SEC pays a whole lot more than anybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
They also pay a whole lot more for people to walk away than anybody else does.
Ask Ed Orgeron how that goes.
So that's one thing. Is there a chance Rhett Leslie coach? No,
No.
no, there's not. I
And
mean,
dear God, no, please.
so I don't think he will come. That's just me. What do we got over here?
Uh, defense is sharp and soft. We had them stop 4th and 1, and no one would come up and hit the running back. You're right.
That's
That's it. That is it.
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
It, it.
That play right there.
The difference is the 4th and 1 when we had Texas at home a couple years ago. Now, granted, that was a targeting, and they missed the call, but we met that dude 2 yards behind the line and stuffed him. This time, didn't even touch him on their side of the line of scrimmage.
It's a
Didn't
different
even get close.
it's a different makeup. That's another problem Arkansas has right now is they're hiring mercenaries to come in and be here for a year, and they
Yeah.
haven't developed anybody in several years. And they've got to find a way to develop some talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, offensively, you can do that, but defense, I think, needs some development. And the fact of the matter is that they are taking people that the other teams don't want. Kenai Walker was a guy that was at Oklahoma, and he came over to Arkansas. My understanding is Kenai Walker was getting less and less playing time at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a lot of times these guys are leaving the school for a reason. After this year,
Yeah,
is there a
Austin, you were
chance?
in line. You had questions,
Right?
bro.
Is there a chance that your check is gone?
There's a chance.
Well, I'm not saying I know one way or the other, but I could say there is a chance. Obviously, if we get a new athletic director, money would start coming into Arkansas. So I mean, there is something to that. Man, right now, Arkansas figures out a way, and when I say that, I'm talking about in a bad way. They figure out a way to mess it up, and right now, that's a problem. That's a problem. Go back and look at the history of Arkansas hiring coaches, and I could go down the line and tell you that they have hired the wrong guy
A
a
bunch.
long time and about every time. And, you can go all the way back to 2006 when Arkansas won the SEC West and Gus Malzahn was here. The wheels of all of this started turning
Mm-hmm.
that year. And we're still in this almost 20 years later.
Thanks, Gus and Mitch Mustane's mama.
Right, right.
Can't shut up on a text message.
Well, I mean, there's more to it than that.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
I'm being
honestly, the treatment
tongue in cheek.
that they had of Gus at
Yeah.
that time was also a problem, and that was one of the I feel like that's one of the reasons why we are where we are today. So,
Well, you just know something's bad in your program when one of your starting quarterbacks gets their truck burnt down.
yeah.
That happened, folks. In case y'all forgot.
By the
So
way, if you look at Austin's profile pic, it's the Razorback A.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we I get it, buddy. I'm a hog too.
I mean, we look at all Arkansas sports, basketball without a doubt has the most money. Well, I would say football still has the most money. The problem is you're having to pay more for football because there's 105 players versus 15.
Hmm.
And that's a big difference there. You know, you could, if you had the same amount of money in basketball as you have football, you could pay each of them over $1 million, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Hmm.
But I mean, you just don't have to have it. Baseball too, baseball has a shortened roster as well, and my understanding is that we're playing playing with a little less money than we did, or that other schools are playing with as well. Kia Real says Warrior Nation. I guess we're talking about EPC Warriors there with the black and red. They're number one all year long. So
You daggum right.
if Bobby doesn't get the head coaching job, who is the top candidate for the job? It's a good question. I mean, again, the question is how many jobs open up and how many of these coaches end up being, on top of the list. A lot of people talked about Dan Mullen coming into last week, and then Dan Mullen comes out and says there's a 0.0% chance that I'm coming to Arkansas. Now,
Well,
was that
Barry Odom also said that there was a 0% zero chance of him leaving, and then he did.
well? I mean, Nick Saban, while he was at the Miami Dolphins, said, "I am not going to be the Alabama coach," and then he became the Alabama coach.
Yeah, that was great.
So, I mean, you can't really put stock into that. That's for sure.
Look, Austin, I'm checking out your profile on the Facebook, and I see pictures of Georgia stuff. What is this, son?
So it's a good question. Alex Galesh is a guy that Arkansas might look at South Florida. His wife is from Greenwood and apparently has high ties to Arkansas through that, and apparently still stays involved with Arkansas. That's all I know there. I'd like to find that out a little bit more, find out some more information. Is there anything on YouTube that we need to look at?
I'm looking to see
How
here.
many games does he
I
need to win?
heard said be glad Norvell didn't come to Arkansas. Yeah, I am. Uh, there's a whole lot I'm glad. Look, here's news, folks. John Gruden, you don't want him as our head football coach. I'm sorry. I'd give me Houston Nuttback before John
Boy, I
Gruden.
don't know about that.
It's well, how long is Gruden's
It
not a
it's a
college
crapshoot.
coach?
It's a
It's a crapshoot.
crapshoot
Either
if
way
you
we
do
go.
that, and I don't think they need to. Um,
I
does
don't
he
think
have
he's
to
got
win
to
that?
win out, but he needs to
No.
win, Austin. Oh, and Levi got another question about Mountainburg.
Okay, well, let me get this real quick, and I'll give you Mountainburg in just a second. How many games does he have to win the rest of the year? I would say. Austin says he has family that lives in Georgia.
Well, this ain't Georgia, son.
I,
Sorry.
how many games does he have to win? He's giving you a hard time, by the
Yeah,
way, Austin.
yeah. No,
Um, I would say he's got to win at least two. I know
yeah,
that's a low number,
it
but I'd say
is.
at least two
Look,
to be the
or
head
just beat
coach.
Missouri. Just beat Missouri and LSU. I think we got a shot
Boy,
against
wouldn't that
LSU this
be
year. It'd
interesting?
be very interesting, wouldn't it?
I think Arkansas has a chance to win some games down the stretch. I do. I
I
think they
mean,
do.
we've been in every game except Notre Dame. We're right
Uh,
there. Just can't get over that hump.
well, A&M might have been the best team we have left.
Yeah,
So
truthfully,
that's
true.
interesting.
And I don't want to take nothing from A&M either. You know, although I detest them not quite as much as I detest the
They're
Longhorns.
making the playoffs,
But
by the
yeah,
way.
oh yeah, they no doubt about it, and they deserve to be. They were ready to play this year, and they are doing so. So we can't take that away from them at all.
I could even say they're an outside contender for the national championship. I could say that.
Yuck.
Let's see here. All right, let me talk about Mountainburg real quick. We can get to more hogs if you want to get to them.
Oh
Just
yeah,
give me a second
you've
here.
got a little bit of time left.
Another question about Mountainburg. If Mountainburg ties with either Bigelow Magazine or Conway Christian in record, no. If you've lost to them and you tie to them, it
Yeah,
means that you
it's
don't
you've
make it.
lost. Yeah,
How about Vanderbilt? They're very good.
yeah, they are.
Uh,
Diego Pavia is a baller, man. You can never knock down you can't keep a baller out of contention.
man,
Like he's he. plays like Baker Mayfield played to me. That's the same kind of vibe. They're giving it everything they got on that field every single time,
Yep.
and I appreciate that. And he's talking trash while he's doing it. Good for him. You're at Vandy, son.
Gosnell over Blytheville 47-12 this past Friday night. Jai Jacobs Ford. Big night this Friday. Gosnell takes on. Yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, that we're very aware of it. We're going to be keeping our eye on that one for sure. That is probably for the 4A3, two undefeated teams. Number 3 Southside against number, was it 9, I believe, Gosnell.
Aaron, stop, man. Saying Arkansas is the best 2-5 team in
I
America.
feel like we say that every year, don't we?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
Melissa, we've already talked about 2A, but we're going to do a 2A through 4A preview. What are we going to do that tomorrow?
yeah, we do it
Or
tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
okay, so we'll do a 2A through 4A preview
Be
tomorrow.
way more in depth. We just touched the surface today on our rankings. That's all. But that's at the very start of the stream, Melissa. If you want to go to the YouTube page, you can watch it right now if you'd like.
Anyway, let everybody know you're watching right now. Share this out with your friends.
Yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. We need them.
So, what are the keys to make Arkansas move in the right direction? Are we talking about like in the next 5 games, or are we talking about like long term? Give me that, and I'll tell you what I think.
They need to go back to Little Johnson, learn how to tackle again, is really what it amounts to. Or put in some
Yeah.
antacid tablets to get some intimidation. I don't know.
Comment on Bearden versus Hampton. So the question about that is, I don't know a lot about the game other than Bearden won. That was a big win,
Very
and
big win.
you're talking about getting yourself into the conference race. If you beat Carlisle on Friday night, you win the conference. So that's a big deal for you at Bearden there. Played a really good game, David. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what happened in that game there. Okay, I'll get you here in just a minute.
Oh, man.
Well, my God, I know we just keep getting them. I love it though. Thank you for doing this. Um,
SAHQB Jacob Miles. What's SHS?
Nobody. So he's on our D3 Auto Sales
Yeah.
MVP of the week list. Go vote for him now. He definitely had a great week.
Yeah, he did.
Talk about a great sophomore right now. That's a kid that's up and coming throughout the state right there. Okay, Austin, let me get to you here. Melissa, thank you for that. Austin, um, so in the long term, number one, you got to hire the right guy.
Yeah. Number one.
You got to hire the right guy. You can't go in and hire. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Sam Pittman. I think Sam got us into a firm footing on what we are, able to do now.
He gave us some pride back.
He did.
Just
He gave
truthfully
us some
speaking, he
pride
gave us
back.
some pride back after the fiasco that was Chad Morris.
But you can't hire another Chad Morris. Is basically
No.
where I was getting at. You can't, and you really need to go from it's kind of like the basketball situation. You go from your Mike Anderson to your Eric Musselman, and now you got Calipari. Can you find your Eric Musselman or your Calipari? Can you do that?
And emphasis on Musselman too, because Musselman had us in the dance, baby. Elite Eight. It
Yep.
we can't disparage anything that Eric Musselman did for us as a program.
So
Uh,
hire the right
yeah.
guy. Start developing talent. You have to make a commitment as a program to win in the SEC. And
Hmm.
apparently they're ready to do that. You have to bring a coach in to excite the fan base. I'm going to throw a name out there that not as a lot of mention, and I, I think some people would bristle at it, some people wouldn't. But PJ Fleck at Minnesota is a guy that you might look at as your next head coach. Enthusiasm. He's a worker.
You ain't. I didn't even thought about PJ Fleck until you just said that. It's not the home run, but it's a solid stand-up double.
Oh man,
Just for in
he
in the SEC's eyes. I mean, he's got to prove himself
he's
in the
doing
SEC
he's
before
doing
that's a home
he's
run.
doing some really good things in
Yeah, he
Minnesota.
is.
Considering, well, how do you hire the right guy when you already said we don't have no? I didn't say that. There's money there.
Oh,
They just have to commit to it. They
yeah.
have to commit to it, and I mean, supposedly that's what's going to happen. I don't know for sure.
At worst, Austin. At worst, Bobby Petrino will be our head coach next year. That's the worst we can do. If they can't find anybody they think is better than Bobby, they need to just give Bobby
So
the job.
let's talk about this real quick. And so let me answer your question. I'm going to talk about what I saw on the poll. Um, See some bears entering the chat. I
It's
can't.
been a
I get.
great day,
I
Melissa.
guess I can't see all of them. I can't see all of the chats because my number's not going up. So we get a low level guy if we don't have the money. I think the money's there.
Yeah, the money's there.
Um, I think that they're ready to give the money. The question is who's going to be left. That's the question. Um, that's the question.
I said, "Oh, that's what they said that they don't have the money." Oh, buddy, they're lying through their
No,
teeth. They'll believe anything they say.
no, you. That's what. Not you. That's what they said. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway, they didn't have the money for Pittman. They didn't want to. They didn't want Pittman there. Um. Anyway, with that being said, you go get a guy that can coach. You got to go get a guy that can galvanize the fan base. And you got to get a guy that can recruit. And I think if you can get a guy that can do those type of things, I think that's where you start right there. And I think there are guys out there. Alex Galesh is a guy that's doing very well at South Florida right now. PJ Fleck is another guy that you could possibly do. But again, the question, James Franklin is another one. And I mean, you're going to have to throw a truckload of money at James Franklin to make it happen. Um, I'm
I wonder
sure
what his buyout was.
I'm sure that they've probably kicked the tires already on James Franklin. So, we'll see what happens. That'll be an interesting thing for sure.
Maybe we can get Keegan Michael Key to come down and impersonate James Franklin. It'd be awesome.
Anyway, there's a lot going on in Razorback land right now. We've never had this type of um,
Austin, no,
yeah, you can't get
no.
Napier. You can't get Napier in here now. You
Mm-mm.
just can't do it. You
Uh,
can't do it. You can't hire a guy that's just been fired by a guy in your conference, even if he can coach. And I mean, Napier was a hot name going to Florida. It
Five
just it
years
just
ago,
it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out.
it's hard to. I mean, it, Florida is just one of those programs. You're either great or you're not. I mean, McElwain, what's his name? He awful.
Yeah.
Uh, just and they're struggling just like we are right now. I mean, they're the Arkansas of the East if they were still East and West. Um,
There's a bunch
so,
of comments that I can't even see.
um,
There's
uh,
75 comments right now.
yeah, Austin. If said if coaches are having a winning season, why would they leave? Um, More money, better facilities, a chance of getting better players.
Well,
That's
I
it.
mean, if you're at South Florida,
Arkansas is a better program.
you go to the SEC. That's what you want to do.
Hmm
That's what you want to do. So
You're moving
anyway,
right up the ladder because South Florida
well,
is playing them what, a million, million and a half, maybe more than that.
I don't know.
If he can get five at Arkansas,
So now he can get 10 at Arkansas.
yeah,
I
that's
mean, I
true.
don't know if he does, but Arkansas would pay 10 for somebody. Let's talk about what I saw in the Inside Arkansas poll. John Neighbors,
Love
uh,
that guy.
uh, he put a poll out on Inside Arkansas, and he said, who do you want as your head coach? And there were four choices there. Let me go back and look at this. Bobby Petrino was one. I believe James Franklin was one. Um, Let me see here. Who else? Yes, I should have.
The Illinois offensive coordinator is such a big name. Why didn't you use it? That's
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, you're not wrong there. Let me look here real quick. See if it's there.
who's the head coach of Illinois?
Brett Bielema.
Yeah, I don't want anything that Brett Bielema thinks is good.
Hey, well, I
I
think.
just don't.
Well, do you know who the OC is at Illinois?
No, not a clue.
Barry Lunny Jr.
Sorry, Barry.
I'm just saying that's who it
No,
is.
no. Actually, I would actually like Barry Lenny. I'd be happy with that personally because he is a hog. And what do we know about former hogs that come back and
Yeah,
coach? Houston. You can say what you want. He had some winning seasons and had some great football teams.
I can't find who all was in the poll. I know James Franklin was one of them. Maybe Dan Mullen was in there, but anyway, 1,000 votes, 77% said Petrino.
Yeah.
77% said Petrino.
Look, I didn't care what he did. I wanted a crystal football.
So the question to you, Austin, would be this: why would we hire Barry Lenny Jr. when we have Petrino that we can go to? I mean, again, as we say and as Justin has said, is that Bobby Petrino needs to be the worst that you can do. And if that's the worst that you can do, you're in a good spot.
Yeah. Man can still coach. You can't take that away from him, and give him some time to actually build a defensive staff. Like,
Mhm.
more than just a week and a half to pick them. Or would he have a week when he hired the new guys? They were
Mhm.
there within a week and trying to put in a pretty brand new system to these guys. And, you know, and no offense to the players, they did the best they could, I think. But it's just, I don't think their best is good enough.
I do know for a fact that Barry Lundy Jr. was almost hired at Arkansas the last time. And unfortunately, will Arkansas make a bowl? No.
It would take a miracle, Sonny.
I think they can get to 5-7.
Yeah.
I do. I think I think that you could possibly. I'm just saying possibly go into the Missouri game at 5-6 with an opportunity to go to the bowl game, or you could be 4-7 and then you could win the Missouri game. And I'm not saying that they will. I'm just saying that's a
It'd be
possibility.
awesome if they did, though. Just to dig it, just to dig at Eli.
Well, Eli likes to dig at
I
Arkansas,
know
that's
he
for sure.
does. Well, we won't go into that.
Okay.
It's
Well, I think that's it right now. I mean,
It's been a good one. We're an hour and 5 minutes already, dude. That's
all
awesome.
right.
6, excuse me.
Well, a lot of interaction. Well, if Petrina loses the rest of the games of the season, a former Hog would say yes. I'll do it at turn it around. Yes, I'll do it and turn it around. And try. I mean, there are people out there that will take the job.
It doesn't matter who the coach is. You're just trying to have success.
So I well, I do think that the it does matter who the coach is. College football is all about coaches.
Yeah,
I mean, you can talk about players all you want to, but players cycle through more than ever before. And so now, what's the most important part of the equation? It's the coach, 100%. And good coaches win in college, and bad coaches lose in college. It's just how it
and
is,
it's the staff. The coach has to build that whole staff top to bottom, and they got to mesh well. And it starts with
Look,
strength and conditioning trainer. Starts with that guy in the weight room. And if it's not right in there, it's not going to be right on the field.
right. Look at the history of Arkansas, and you can see real quickly that good coaches win, bad coaches lose. I mean, it's just how it is. And look at the history of Florida. I mean, they have had some success, but it wasn't until Steve Spurrier came into Florida that they really started having high level success. And then you look at some of these
When
other
he played and coached.
right. Well, look at some of the other guys that have come in. Will Muschamp didn't do a very good job there. As you said, Jim McElwain, Ron Zook. I mean, these were guys that had proven resumes coming into Florida, and they
What was
just
the dude
couldn't
who
win.
was oh my gosh, the big guy. Crap, that's gonna drive me crazy. I can't think of his name now. He's a O line coordinator or offense coordinator. I can't remember his name now. Never mind. He was there for a little while. Not
At Florida,
McElwain. Yeah. Um, he's a big guy, bigger than McElwain.
yeah.
Crap, I can't think of his name now.
Do Bob if Bob is no, he's not.
He's not a bad coach.
He's been dealt a bad hand.
Yeah.
If I had to make a prediction on who I would think would be the Arkansas head coach coming into next year, Bobby Petrino would be the guy that I would put money on.
I'm
That's
perfectly happy
just,
with that.
and I would be fine with that. I
Man,
would
you
be
remember how
fine.
excited I was when we broke the news that he was coming back. I don't. I was listening to something and it just happened and I got to break it to you guys and I was tickled 10 shades of pink having him back for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah,
So I'd be happy as his head
I
coach.
don't think you can take anything that this year. I mean, honestly, if he lost every game, I wouldn't be hurt by them making him the
No,
head coach. He's dealt a very bad hand for sure. Right before the motorcycle accident, Arkansas was a big name. Bobby was there. Now we are losing because he took over. No, we're
we're
not.
not losing because he took over.
No,
Not at all.
no, we're not
He's
losing.
he's he's trying to salvage what was already a broken record.
Yeah.
Like it's yeah, this is just a salvage job. That's all Bobby's doing.
All right,
So
guys, we're gonna wrap this one up. We got, or I know I gotta go.
yeah, you do.
Um, and we'll come back to you
Yeah, he needs a
tomorrow.
haircut.
We'll come back to you tomorrow with 2A through 4A preview. Later in the week, we'll have a 5A through 7A preview, and we'll have a Razorback preview coming up as the Razorbacks take on Auburn, which is a big game. It's a huge
It
game
is
for
a big
both
game.
teams. So, anyway, guys, appreciate you being a part of what we do today, and man, really appreciate everybody for just being a part of what we do in general. We were looking at views and stuff last
Man,
week, and over the last year, we've had 66 million
Yeah,
views on our websites, both on Facebook and on YouTube. That is not a lie. We have the numbers to prove it. That is wild.
it
Wild.
really is. Yeah, it's been a fun time for us right
Right.
now, buddy.
And so, if you're interested in sponsoring, I mean, we've got podcasts now, we've got games of
Sponsor
the
our
week.
rankings. So our 6A rankings were sponsored by Russellville Nurse and Rehabilitation Center. We'd be happy to have you.
Yeah. Games of the week. We've got volleyball tournament coming up. If you're Team 3A volleyball tournament, you would like to sponsor the 3A or be part of that sponsorship, let us know. We'll actually know who is going to be a part of that today.
Yep.
Um, what else do we got? I mean, playoff games coming up, all kinds of stuff.
It's a great time of year, ain't it?
It is.
Just
It
sports,
is.
sports, sports, and we got Arkansas Razorback men's basketball to look forward to too. It's gonna be
Yeah, Friday night
I'm
actually.
excited about that.
First exhibition game on Friday night
I
with the
believe it's already
Razorbacks.
time, man.
So
Let's
that's
go
something
cheer them on.
that's something that we can talk about too. So
Heck yeah, we're going to.
anyway, appreciate you joining us here on the Audible. And man, we'll be back tomorrow with our 2A through 4A preview, and we'll see you then.